Now, just a quick introduction. My name is Jason Fladlien, and I'm the CEO of a little company we started called Rapid Crush Inc. And here's the deal with this. The world's greatest product will have trouble selling if it is not advertised correctly. It saddens me how many very excellent, life-changing products are out there that ended up going into the graveyard simply because somebody didn't know how to market them correctly. And how do you do that? Well, it's a good question. Think about it this way, though. The best SEO-optimized blogs that get tons of traffic will make nothing if they aren't monetized correctly. And I'm sure there's more than one person on this call where they look at their web stats and they say, man, I'm getting all this traffic, all these unique visitors every single day in and day out to my blog. How come I'm not making any money? It's a good question. All right? The money is only in the list. You might have heard that. The money's in the list. Money's in the list. Money's in the list. Phooey. That's not true. The money isn't in the email list. It isn't in any list, okay? The money is knowing how to communicate with your audience. So if your audience is in a list, on a blog, visiting a website, and on a social media property, whatever, it's the communication with that audience that makes all the difference when it comes to making money. Now, guess what all those things that I just discussed have in common? It's something that's normally referred to as copywriting. Now, my definition of copywriting is this: the act of communicating in a fashion that will maximize the profits of whatever you're promoting, whether it's your own products, whether it's the products that you're promoting as an affiliate, whether it's you writing for somebody promoting their own products or products as an affiliate, whether it's email copy, in-print copy, blog copy, video scripting, etc., etc. Copywriting is the act of communicating in a fashion that will maximize the profits of whatever you are promoting. It stands to reason, then, that copywriting is important to selling your own products, right? It's important if you're promoting affiliate products. Regardless of whether you're doing it through an email, a Skype chat, a forum, Facebook, Twitter, copywriting is important. Is it important for webinars just like the one I'm doing here? You bet your butt it is. All right? It's important for social media, right? Yes. It's important for mobile websites, email, text messages, cold calling, local consulting, and pretty much anything that has to do with conversion, where you get somebody who might be interested to actually do some sort of action which results in you making some money. That's where copywriting is important. So on this webinar, here's the deal. I believe I'm uniquely qualified to give you the best copywriting formula on the planet for converting the highest number of prospects into buyers, therefore making you the most amount of money with the traffic you're getting for yourself or your clients. I believe I'm uniquely qualified to give you that formula, the best formula for that, okay? Probably better than stuff that you've bought. I'm going to give it to you for free on this webinar. And I'm going to attempt to do all this in less than 60 minutes of your time. Now, in return, I'm going to ask you a couple of things. One is I want your full attention, first of all, because it's not even going to be that much. We're talking less than 60 minutes to change your life. I also want us to agree that I'm pretty damn good, okay? But I can't teach you everything you need to know about this stuff in one measly hour, all right? Can we agree to that? There's nothing I can do, no matter how good I am, and I'm pretty good. I'm one of the best. I can't do everything needed to teach you in 1 hour, okay? So naturally, what I'm going to be doing after this end of this hour training that we're going to do today is I'm going to make you an offer. And I'm letting you know right up front, right now, that there will be an offer at the end of the call. Now that the agenda is set, I am going to attempt to wow you, to prove to you that my offer at the end is going to be incredible by giving you the absolute best free 60 minutes of copywriting you've ever heard. That'll blow your mind and is better than you normally would see in paid products. Does that sound good? Now, quickly, let me preface this. The stuff I'm about to teach you is not optional. It is required regardless of what you do. The beautiful thing is it's evergreen. It's not like Google with their Panda updates and their Farmer updates and their negative SEO updates and whatever the hell, the Penguin updates. I don't even know what they are. I can't keep up. Okay, this stuff is evergreen. Copywriting is intransmutable. It will always exist, and it's the most universally applicable thing, whether you're selling online, offline, inline, out of line, above the line, below the line, what line, right? And every single internet millionaire I know is amazing at this skill. So buckle up. You're about to learn the best copywriting formula that internet marketing legend Marlon Sanders has declared the best lesson in copywriting at any price. Now, if you understand this formula, guess what you can do with it? For example, about 2 hours at most, Could easily pay for a month's payment on this bad boy. In fact, when you get really good, it's less than that. We're talking minutes, not hours. Minutes of copywriting can pay for a month's worth of payments on my Saturn Sky, as you see right there. That's one of the bad boys that I drive. A handful of more minutes in my case, but in your case it might be an hour or two, would cover his brother, which is sitting next to him in the garage, which is my 67 Mustang. Okay? Woo! I got the classic. I got the modern, and I got the classic. Okay? So if you commit to this formula that I'm about to show you and really make it your goal to master it, you can get paid at least $1,000 an hour working for clients. And that's absolutely true. That's no bull. It's no hype. I've made as much as $5,000 an hour working for clients, copywriting. Okay? Now, you can even make more than that over the lifetime selling your own products and not writing for clients, but writing for yourself. Okay? You can catapult the value of your blogs, your fan pages, your affiliate sites, etc., and transform thoughts basically into cash anytime you wish if you commit. Not simply just listening, but commit to using this formula. Okay? Now, if a former rapping monk can do it, that's me on the right. I used to be a rapping monk, believe it or not, before I got in this copywriting business. If I can do it, I'm pretty sure it's not asking too much for you to consider doing it yourself. So here's the first step in the copywriting formula. Step number 1 is called research. Now here's the Jason Fladlien positioning on research. 20 minutes or less. Never spend more than 20 minutes doing the research before you write the sales letter. If you take longer than this, you're not doing it right. Here's all you need to know when it comes to research. What are 3 main fears that your target audience experiences? All right? What are 3 main benefits that they desperately desire? And finally, what is the ideal mind picture solution? Okay? In other words, what do they see themselves when they fantasize doing as a result of having the solution that you're promising? That's all you need to know. Okay? Notice I didn't say the 3 top fears or the 3 top benefits. You don't have to get this perfect. Far from it. You just got to get 3 of the main fears that keep them awake at night, 3 of the main benefits that they would oh so love to have, and you have to kind of get an idea of what typically they fantasize about once they have the solution that you're going to promise when you sell them something. Okay? That's the first step. That's research. Now you might ask me, Jason, where do I go to find this stuff? All right, here's some of the places I look. Other people's sales letters. It's one of the best places, one of the easiest, one of the quickest places. All right. I also like to scan the forums very quickly. Notice the keyword scan. I don't spend too much time, and I kind of get an idea of what people are saying. If something I have is also on Amazon, a related complementary product, or something that targets the same market I want to target, I might read some reviews really quickly. I like to look at the 5-star reviews, and I like to look at the 1-star reviews, all right? I don't care where you look between these 3 options, sales letters, forums, and Amazon reviews. Whatever you do, you sit down, you start a 20-minute timer, and you go to town. So let me emphasize this. Does it really matter if you don't exactly pick the biggest, best, most applicable fears and benefits? No, it doesn't. Get that out of your brain, all right? The idea is speed trumps everything. The beautiful stuff about writing copy online is it's free. We're not talking about buying a print ad that's going to run 3 months from now in a magazine, or buying a newspaper ad that's going to run next week, or sending out 1,000 postcards. Copywriting on the internet's free, so we don't have to get anything even close to perfect. We just got to get it good enough because speed trumps everything when it comes to this stuff. So 20 minutes is the deadline we set on the research. When we're done, we go with what we got. Now let me compare that. Okay, I want you to compare that actually. If you've listened to copywriting gurus in the past, or people who try to teach you how to sell stuff, what's their position on research? And how do they approach this? Typically, this is what you will hear if you've been around the block. Research is the most important, critical process in the copywriting process, and it's the hardest, it's the most time-consuming, it's the one you really want to get this right, because if you mess this up, nothing else matters. It's that kind of rhetoric, okay? Does that resonate? Have you heard something like that before? Yeah, I'm seeing that, okay? And I'm telling you that's not true. That's old school thinking. They're taking old school thinking and trying to apply it to a new medium, all right? Doesn't work. That's not true for the internet. So we just try something, find out what happens, and change it if it didn't work for us. It's as simple as that. Step number 2 is the offer. Now it's time to put together the offer. Now this is the most important part in the process. You could skip every other step besides this one. This is the most important step in the process. And actually, it's kind of a misnomer that people call this copywriting. And I normally wouldn't refer to that if you didn't already know that term. I like to call it copy offering because writing is so insignificant compared to the offer. The actual writing. If you get the offer right, you can write like a 3-year-old child, and you would still do very well. All right. Your offer is 80% of your success. Writing is at most maybe 10% of your success. So if you're a good writer, cool. Doesn't really matter. If you're a bad writer, cool. Doesn't really matter. All right? Let me make a great case in point when it comes to the offer being critical to copywriting success. Now look on the right there. That's a 1979 Pontiac station wagon with the wood paneling on the sides. What a beauty, right? This is what my dad and I drove to school in every day my senior year in high school. All right? I graduated in 2001. Yeah, I am kind of young. I admit to that. All right, but I make that up in wisdom. All right, I graduated in 2001. I'm about 18 years old. Every day my dad comes by because my mom and dad were divorced at this point. He picks me up in this 1979 Pontiac station wagon, and we putt-putt to school because my dad teaches there. I go there. At this time, I'm such an awkward, shy, introverted nerd. I'm too scared to even get my license, so this is what I'm stuck with. This 1979 Pontiac station wagon putt-putting from my house to the high school, hanging out with my dad. All right? Let me ask you this question. If I crafted the greatest sales pitch in the world, all right? I mean, I wrote this so beautiful, it shimmered when you read it, and you got shivers as you read the beautiful prose that I created. It reminded you of Mark Twain or some other great literary author, and it blew your mind at how well worded and how compelling I put forward the benefits of this vehicle, etc., right? And I built up this great, wonderful pitch on this 1979 Pontiac station wagon with the wood paneling on the sides, and then I made the offer to you to own it for just 3 easy installments of $100,000 spaced 30 days apart. If you're sane, I'm assuming you would not take that. Is that a reasonable assumption? Yes, okay? I don't care how good the copy was, the offer sucked. Now, on the flip side, if I said something like this, hey, you know the 67 Mustang? It doesn't have power steering, it doesn't have power brakes. It's a 3-speed, so if you don't know how to drive a manual transmission, A, it's going to be hard for you to learn, but B, if you do, well, reverse is normally where first is in a modern transmission, so it's old too. It's 67. It's like almost as old as my mom. All right? Actually, it's pretty close to being about the same age, right? So I don't really want this, and I really don't think you want it, but you can have this for just $1,000. And I'll throw in the Saturn Sky as a bonus if you act today. All right? Now think about that type of pitch. I mean, I pitched that as bad as possible. Didn't talk about any benefits. Talked about all the negative aspects. Said, you probably don't even want this. Are you sure? I wouldn't buy this if I were you, but I guess if you insist, maybe I can offer this to you for this. Both of these cars, $1,000. And you don't want this, do you? The answer is you'd say, oh, I sure do. Right? You'd snap it up in a heartbeat. You'd ask, hey, what other deals you got like this out there? That's how important the offer is. That is how important the offer is. You can see why writing or pitching, if you were doing this via video, doesn't really matter if the offer is that incredible. All right? Now, the deal is most people don't know how to structure offers to make them as irresistible as possible. They have no system for it, so therefore they can't teach it to you. I have a system. My philosophy in business is anything worth doing is worth systematizing, and irresistible offers are way up on the top for systematizing. So I have a system, and therefore I can teach you the system very quickly, and you can immediately benefit from it. Okay, so here's my system. I call it the iOS, and this is the irresistible offer system. An offer basically consists of 3 parts: what the audience gets, what they pay in exchange for getting it, and what they risk, both in getting it and not in getting it. So what do they get? All right, here I urge you to come up with your own. This is what I did when I first started that made a lot of difference is I went around, spent some time, and I said, okay, what are the different types of formats that people present products in? Ebooks, videos, webinars, etc., right? I came up with a list, what I call the master list. And now when I formulate an offer, or I look for offers to promote as an affiliate, or I formulate offers for clients, I just scan this list. And here's what I'm looking for. What formats have the highest perception of value to present this offer in? And also, what are the easiest and fastest to create? So there's lots of instances where I can take something and massage it in maybe a half an hour to increase the perception of value by putting it in a couple different formats. So then when I write the copy, it's a slam dunk. It's so easy to sell it because I've just increased the perception of value through the roof with just a half-hour effort before I sat down and wrote the copy. Does that make sense? All right? So this is a big part of what they get. I'll give you a quick example. Webinar Pitch Secrets. I wrote this ebook. It's just an ebook. No bonuses, nothing. One stupid little measly ebook. Sold it for $17. Actually became the world's best-selling ebook ever on webinar pitching. So I struck a nerve. I said, wow, I didn't expect this thing to sell that well. Because frankly, I just put it out there because I knew some good stuff and I could make a couple grand is what I was thinking. Didn't realize it was going to become a blockbuster. So when it did, I spotted the opportunity and said, okay, let's go back to that. So we took basically the same information but reformatted it in a new format with live webinar trainings, and we sold it for $197. And we sold a boatload of them. How hard do you think it was, A, to create that product, and B, how hard do you think it was to pitch it? Pretty much the same pitch, just a different format, right? Now check this out. We took virtually the same information and transplanted it with a couple new bonuses and some other perks into a 2-day live workshop in Las Vegas, and we sold out $5,000 a head. Pretty much the same information. There was a little bit of tweaking in the pitch, but the pitch was pretty much the same, and we took something that initially sold for $17, and with the right formatting and the right presentation of the offer, once I realized it was incredible and there was an opportunity here, we got it up from $17 to $5,000. That's how important what they get, how it's presented, and the formats that are chosen to present it in. Notice this has nothing to do with writing or scripting or speaking. This is all strategy before you even write one word of the copy. Okay? It's all about packaging, positioning, and pitching. This is what I call the Abe Lincoln approach. Good old Honest Abe. Honest Abe has been said to have came up with this quote. It goes like this. If I had 10 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 8 hours sharpening my axe. Most people who attempt to write copy, whether it's on sales letters, emails, blogs, Facebook, whatever, they're trying to chop down a tree with the dullest axe possible. It's impossible. All right? They're focusing on the wrong stuff. All right? This is what you focus on, the offer. Okay? Here's the J Flat axiom. Never start writing a sales letter, never start creating a sales script or whatever until you're crystal clear on the offer. So what they get is the product, like we just discussed in the formats, how you're going to present it, plus bonuses. Typically, I like to offer 3 bonuses for most products, and I try to, as much as possible, hit these criterias. One of the bonuses is something that my target audience wants but probably wouldn't pay for, but they would really like to have. Okay? Something that's time-limited and scarce by nature, so it gives that sense of urgency that the consumer must buy now. And finally, something that is sexy to the eye, that if they're scanning and not reading it, it just leaps out at them and says, ooh, check me out. All right? Once I reveal that, then I have to position the price. This is what you always want to do with the investment cost of whatever you're selling. It should always be a bargain, but never cheap. All right, write this down. Memorize it. Always a bargain, never cheap. Do you know the key distinction between bargain and cheap? Here's the Jason Fladlien definition, and I would love for you to learn it. Okay? Bargain is, I know I'm getting this for far less than I should be paying for it. Cheap is, the reason this is so inexpensive is because it's inferior quality. That's the difference. Bargain. Everything's positioned as a bargain. I know I'm getting this for far less than I should be getting it for. Now think of the little sly appeal that people that would be seeing your pitches would get in their brains if you could create such a feeling. They would say, ooh, I got to get this now. Because I'm really getting in on something I know I shouldn't be getting in on, and I don't know if it's going to stay this way forever. So typically the way that I do this with bargain stacking is dollars at a discount, time as money, intangible. So it's a 3-step process. I explain to them that basically whatever they invest is going to come back to them in terms of making them more money or saving them more money than the initial investment. And you can do this in internet marketing, you can do this in basket weaving, you can do this in cat juggling, you can do this with cigar purses, you can do this in any niche. So don't tell me you can't do it, because you can. All right? I've done it. The second step. And I explain to them how even if they didn't save all that money or make this additional money, just the time they're going to save if they did this on their own or if they try to figure out themselves. Just time is money. I explained to them, hey, even if you work $5 an hour job at McDonald's, this time that's going to save you is going to make this product free. Okay? Finally, intangibles. I love to close on intangibles when creating a bargain environment because intangibles can't put a price on. All right? What's the price of your children's safety? What is that worth to you? Dollar figure-wise. Your children being safe and healthy. The answer is you can't put a price on it. It's intangible. So I start, when I reveal the price, I explain dollars at a discount, time as money, close on the intangibles, 3-step process, use it every single time in every single sales letter. I can bang out, create this feeling of getting a bargain effortlessly, but be oh so effective. That's the formula. The final part of the offer is risk reduction. And I like to position it as this. Why there's more risk in not signing up for the offer than there is in signing up for it. So I like to explain to the audience with whatever letter I'm writing, video I'm scripting, product I'm promoting, whether my own or affiliates, on social media, whatever, right? What they risk if they don't sign up. The risk they take by not signing up. That's very important. But at the same time, I also show them the risk they take by signing up. And we typically minimize that risk with a guarantee. Now, we can never get them to risk nothing because they'll risk a little bit of time just to go through it. But that's all they should risk, just a little bit of time. And is it worth them achieving a solution they so desperately desire? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely. So typically I'll say, hey, you risk more by not signing up today because what's going to happen to you if you let something like this pass you by and not work on this issue? It's just going to get worse, right? However, if you sign up today, I want you to know your money is completely safe for 30 days. Here's why. For any reason or no reason at all, within 30 days of your investment today, if you're unsatisfied, let me know, and I'll quietly and promptly return every penny of your purchase back to you. Okay? I use basically the same guarantee structure for every single guarantee I make with a little modification. That's it. Risk reduction. Okay? Question. Can you see if we just did that? If we just open up the sales copy saying, hey, here's what you get, and present it in the best format possible. Then we said, hey, here's the bonuses. Hey, here's the price and why it's such a good deal. And hey, here's what you risk. If we did just that one step, you can see we have some damn good sales copy, damn good sales script, damn good whatever media. Okay, that's just one step. Now think about that. I broke that down and taught that to you so succinctly that you could immediately walk away and act on it. So when are you going to act on this step? Yesterday. ASAP. As soon as humanly possible. Step 3. Proof. Anybody can make a claim. But can you make a claim believable? For that, you need proof. Now, let me stop a second and attempt to read the mind of at least a portion of the audience. All right? I'm assuming somebody out there listening right now is thinking something like this. But Jason, I don't have any proof. Okay? My answer to you that is phooey. You do. Okay, first of all, if you don't have any proof, and let's assume that was possible, which it isn't, but let's assume that it is, well then work with clients who have proof. Problem solved. All right? Second of all, you do have proof. All right? And here is the best proof. Insight. This is the best proof. It's better than 1,000,000 screenshots. Better than 100 testimonials. Insight as proof. If you can, in your sales letter, sales script, blog, whatever format you're using, come across knowing more about the problems your audience experiences than they themselves know, then they will naturally believe in you enough to take a buying leap, okay? Because this is the conclusion they form in their mind. If he knows this much about the problem, he has to know at least this much about the solution. How do you do that, though? Clarity, that's how. We just give it away. I call this like the hit single. Just like in music, they give away the best song for free to the radio and not the worst song. What you do is you give away a nice little tidbit of information directly in the media that you're using to pitch your product or pitch your client's product or an affiliate product. You say, hey, if you're experiencing this, I'm going to give you something right now that you can use to immediately give you some relief or immediately give you some benefit, even if it's small. Just do this right now as you read this letter or as you listen to this video, and you'll immediately get some relief from one of your problems. And they say, if you did that, you can see how powerful what I just told you was. Now imagine what else is waiting for you. The really good stuff is behind this add to cart button that once you click on and sign up for, you can get access to immediately. That's a lot different. Now, how many people do that? Oh, so few people who try to use persuasion to make money for themselves or their clients do something like this. This is the best proof in the world. Do you think your audience, if you laid out something for them to do very quickly in a sales letter or sales script, actually do it? No. Most of them do not. But most of them will read and say, wow, if I did do that, it seems like that would work. And this person just gave me something right up front so quickly. I'm impressed. So I'm going to take that buying leap. I mean, there's other proof that you can use, and we do discuss that in the Copy eClass, but that's your most powerful type of proof. Okay, step 4, story. Okay, this is the only optional step in the process. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't, but I always consider it. Now, in the past, here's what I thought about story. Okay, in the past, I thought a story was the thread that tied all your other elements together. So the story is what you tied the proof together. The story is what you tied the offer together. The story is how you use the insights during your research to put the benefits and the value, etc., etc. Now I know better. A story is much more simplistic than that. It's much more simple than that. A story is basically process of discovery. If it's interesting of how you discovered the solution that you're presenting to your audience, tell the story, okay? If it's not interesting, skip it, all right? Regardless, you should tell the story in a few paragraphs. So the story is basically, this is how I discovered the solution, and this is either why I created the product, or why the person I'm writing the copy for created the product, or why I'm promoting this product as an affiliate, or why I'm sending you over here to check this out, right? Whatever. How I discovered this, why I'm sharing it with you, how I've benefited from it, if you have, or how others have benefited from it, if they have, right? And how the people that I'm sending to check it out can benefit from it. That's the story. That's it. You can tell in a few paragraphs. It works really well. It has a nice little extra incentive and push for people to not only read, but respond, and it takes a couple minutes. So if you have a cool story that follows this criteria, use it. If not, skip this step. It's the only optional step in the process. Step number 5, bullet points. All right? You absolutely have to know how to write bullet points because 99% of your sales letters should include them. And why? Well, bullet points are the best way on the planet to communicate powerful selling points at a glance that both excite and intrigue your audience. So this is how you write bullet points. Each bullet point is blind plus benefit. So blind means that you tell them the result, but they have to buy the product to figure out the answer to how that result occurred. Okay? And benefit is, hey, how can it make their life better knowing this? Blind plus benefit. Each bullet is blind plus benefit, and we'll use one of these two techniques. Either use very specific or contradictive positioning. Okay, check this out. So a mediocre copywriter would write something like this as a bullet point. How to double your productivity overnight. Not a good bullet point at all. People think it's a good bullet point. They're wrong. It's not very persuasive. It really doesn't do anything. It takes up space and actually does more damage than positive. Mediocre is how to double your productivity overnight. World-class bullet point is this. How a 10-word sentence from a 1958 Economist article instantly doubled my productivity overnight. That's the difference. Okay? Do you understand the difference? The first one is, I've heard the claim how to double your productivity overnight a million times. The second one, how a 10-word sentence from a 1958 Economist article instantly doubled my productivity overnight. Nobody's ever heard that before. Ever. So that immediately is interesting because it's new. Second of all, it teases the hell out of the reader. What's the 10-word sentence, right? Third, it increases believability because it is so specific. It has to be true because look how specific it is. Contradictive. Mediocre would be something like this. Simple trick to triple your profits on Facebook. Horrible. World class. How to triple your profits on Facebook by giving stuff away instead of trying to sell it. It's obvious once you see it. Interesting. Okay? So basically when you're writing your bullet points for your sales letter or your sales script or whatever for the product you're selling, either promise very specific information related to a benefit or contradictive, which is like, I thought the opposite was true, but I guess I might be wrong. Let me buy this product to figure it out, right? That's your bullet points. Step number 6, scarcity. Ideally, everything that you use should have some sort of scarcity element attached to it. This will make such a big difference in your conversions from okay to great if you have something scarce in your offer. Just to give you an idea of what can be scarce, these are the 3 things that I use scarcity on. Price, bonus, intangibles. Okay? Price. Price is either going to go up at a certain point in time, so the longer they wait, the more they pay, or price is going to be removed completely, and therefore they can no longer pay anything to get in. Okay? Bonus. Act before this time, or this bonus goes away. All right? Intangibles. These are the scarce things like, hey, if you don't buy this fire alarm system today, and a fire happens in your house tomorrow, how are you going to live with yourself the rest of your life? And there's a lot of ways to work those in to where people have this sense of urgency of I got to get this now because every day I don't have this is another day I'm at risk of something catastrophic going on. Catastrophic. Step 6, scarcity. Step 7, hook. We have not even talked about headlines yet. Isn't that interesting? All right? Typically the headline will be the last thing you consider when writing a sales letter or a sales script or whatever to get somebody's attention. Even though it's one of the most important things to immediately get attention, it's one of the last things we deal with. We come up with a headline based on the hook. So the hook, just like a hook reels in a fish when you go fishing, a hook on the internet reels in your audience to stop everything else they're doing and whatever else they're focusing on and focus on just what you put in front of them. Okay? Typically the hooks that I use are instant gratification, contradictive, news breaking, or a combination of all the above. All right? People like stuff that will get them quick results fast. They would rather get an okay result in minutes than the best result in days. So we use that as a hook. We figure out ways to present information that can achieve instant gratification where it normally takes people a long time to get that result. But that's one of your hooks. Can you give them something instantly that most people can't? Okay, contradictive. Can you present information to them that contradicts conventional wisdom? If so, they're going to read on because they're saying, I've been following this, and could it be wrong that I've been following this advice? I got to take a look and find out. Okay, news breaking. This is information today that has just came out, or information that's recently came out, changes everything. Is there some component in whatever you're offering, either yourself or for a client or for an affiliate product, where you can use a hook to pull people in that has some sort of news breaking element to it? And of course you can combine these. Instant gratification combined with contradictive information and news breaking can be very powerful. Now when you figure out the hook, what is the hook? What does it consist of? Then you massage those different qualities and write a quick headline. Okay? I write a headline for almost all my sales communication in less than 2 minutes. Very rarely will it take me longer than 2 minutes to create a headline with my system for coming up with the hooks. Step number 8, the lead. This is important as the headline. The lead is the first few paragraphs of the copy that's going to make people either stay or leave. So this is very critical. That's why it's its own step. This is one I use by default. I call it expanding on the headline. All right? And typically what I'll do is expand on it by promising even more. If they keep reading or if they keep watching or if they keep listening, right? Then I'll say, hey, it's going to be worth their time to continue consuming the message. And then finally, I leave what's known as an open loop. And this is what separates decent copy from world-class copy, an open loop. I always say, hey, and start in on a thought or start in on a concept and say, well, hold on a second. We'll get back to that. But before we go any further, you need to know this, right? It leaves this thought in their mind that I got to get resolution on something that he opened with, but hasn't quite yet finished summing up. He's left something open that he's going to come back to later. This is just classic technique, all right? You see this in movies all the time, right? The mystery. What's going to happen? I got to watch till the end. We use this in our sales copy, whether written, spoken, or scripted for video. Step 8 is the lead. Step 9 is the puzzle piece in it, okay? At this point in time, and we haven't really written any copy yet, other than the headline and the opening. That's all we focused on. Most of the others been sharpening the axe, right? Okay? After you write the headline and the lead, then these are the elements that you can pick from. Proof, story, introducing the offer, putting in your bullet points, making it feel like a bargain, adding in the bonus, injecting scarcity, revealing your guarantee, and closing. So basically, what order should you put these in? It doesn't really matter. You could randomly pick. Okay? You could write all these different elements in a hat, close your eyes, and pull them out of the hat, and piece them together like that. So you can start with proof. You can go into a story if you're using one, introduce the offer, do the bullet points, make it a bargain, add the bonuses, inject scarcity, reveal a guarantee, and then say order now, right? You could do that. And that's just the order I put on there. But you could also say, hey, here's the guarantee on the offer I'm about to make you, all right? Now let me tell you the story, okay? Now the offer's a bargain at this price. Now let me tell you what exactly you're getting. Then throw in some bullet points, throw in some proof, and use a little bit of scarcity and close that way. Doesn't really matter, okay? Typically, here's what I'll do with the puzzle piece section. I'll give myself 5 minutes, literally set a timer again, and say what seems to make the most sense for presenting these information pieces. What should I start with? What should I go to next? What should I go to after that? Okay, after 5 minutes, if I don't know, I start randomly just putting stuff together. Simple as that. That's step 9 in the process. So is copy really that simple if you get this? Could you bang out some world-class copy, whether it's in print, whether it's written, whether it's spoken, whether it's on video, webinar, what have you, with this formula? Is it that simple if you master this, if you get this formula to use? The answer is absolutely yes. Here's the best part. While it will start off conscious at first, it will very quickly become unconscious, meaning that now I can do everything that I just explained to you in my head. Okay, I can formulate in my head every step of the process and organize them and know exactly how I'm going to present them. So I can sit down and create some of the best copy that you've ever seen that converts the highest rate in less than an hour. That's the best part, is you can get there too. Not right away. It's going to take you a little bit of time because I got a head start on you. Now that's the best part. Here's the worst part. The worst part is a severe problem with everything that we've discussed today. And with the few minutes that we have left on this training, I want to address this problem briefly to you. If you said at any point, maybe. If you said, maybe there's something here, Jason. Maybe this is the key distinction between success and failure. Maybe with this skill, making money online becomes infinitely easier. Maybe there's something here. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Okay? The chief problem with everything we've discussed today is this: bridging the gap between new information and implementation. This is a huge gap from what you just learned today, the new information I presented, to actually implement it. How can we reduce that gap? Well, there's a lot going against you. Psychologists say this: in 48 hours from now, you'll already forgotten almost everything I taught you today. And you'll forget about half of what you thought as a result of what I showed you today. Give it a couple weeks, you probably won't even remember having been on this call, much less anything we discussed. Just like you don't remember 2 weeks ago probably what you had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay? This works exactly like Mama said, one ear and out the other. You say, well, hold on, Jason. I might have took notes, though, so I can always go back and reference that stuff. That's admirable. And I used to take notes. I found I no longer really take that many notes, hardly at all. Because let's be honest with each other. I'm guessing somewhere you got that place. Maybe it's at home. Maybe it's in the office. Maybe it's in the attic, the garage, under the kids' bunk beds. Okay, in the trunk of an old car you don't drive anymore. Okay, I don't know where, but somewhere there's a place, and that's called the notes graveyard. That's the place where all your notes go to die. Okay, that's where the notes from this webinar are going to go, and that's where the notes from future webinars are probably going to go. So who's fooling who? Bridging the gap between information and implementation. We can't do this with one simple webinar. You need more than that. You need ongoing mentoring. Okay? You need tools. Not just information, but tools. Okay? You need accountability to make sure that you stick with it. You need resources that normally aren't available to you, that are going to be available to you. You need all this and more. Okay? Basically, you need me in your ear and watching over you for the next 6 weeks with my tools and my resources and my network, if you're truly going to implement and benefit from what we talked about today. So here's the offer I'm going to make to you. I want to work with you for 6 live sessions to turn you into a world-class copywriter. Now here's my definition of world-class copywriter. Someone who can write high earnings per visitor, sales letters, videos, email copy, or whatever, copy 100 times faster than the average person. So it's not just enough that they make more money with the words they use, that they write, that they speak, whatever. They have to do it 100 times faster than the average person. That's my definition of world class. Okay? We will do this for 6 live group webinar training sessions, and if you can't attend them live, you can always catch the archives in the members area. Now, I've done this with a ton of people in the past. Here's just what a small sample have said. So Chad Castleman says, copy eClass. It has easily been the best thing he's ever purchased in 4 years. And if you don't know Chad, at the time, Chad had nothing on his resume online. Do you know what Chad does now? He is a partner in JVZoo, which is one of the fastest growing marketplaces in internet marketing. So that's where he was, that's where he is. Okay, he says it's easily been the best purchase he's made within 4 years. Copy eClass. Okay, Angie Mitchell. She said, I had my first copy customer the last day of the training. Okay, then she goes on to say, I now have my own collection of happy customers. Woo, woo, right there. Boom. All right. Jeff Baudet. So Jeff has become well known. He's pretty good at selling his own products. So he always was okay. I helped him go to the next level. And he says this, when I heard Jason was running this class, I flipped out. And I like what he says. There's a lot of copywriting experts out there, but not many teachers. He says, if you want a good copywriting teacher, you have 2 options: pay thousands and hope to find someone who can actually explain copywriting, or join this class, pay a fraction, and use the same copywriting that works over and over. That's what Jeff says. Okay, Maria Goudalis, you may know who she is. She says, at this time, my company has not only saved $10,000 in outsourced copywriting, because she trained somebody on her staff, but if you read further down, she says, we have tripled our conversion rate. And if you ask Maria how much my copywriting has made teaching her and her staff, she'll probably say easily 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. Okay? Here's what Paul says. Paul told me, he goes, you're one of my most respected mentors. Now check this out. Paul says, I took a 3-day course on copywriting a few months before your copy eClass, and he spent $3,000. And he goes, but I got twice as much value from your copy eClass than that one. And then he closes it like this. Thanks, Jason. You're one of my most respected mentors, even though you may not be aware of it. Thank you, Paul. Okay, Frank Edwards, this is what he says. I've used Jason's system to write my last 5 sales letters. And so basically, Frank just is an animal now when it comes to copywriting. Okay, Mike Paetzel, first sales letter using Jason's technique has done 3 times what the previous initial sales letters have done. It is easy to follow in step-by-step instruction. Okay, Tim Castleman says, I was able to bang out 3 mini sales letters and profit over $2,000 as a result. So I caught Tim when he was first jumping into this internet marketing scene, and you may know who he is now because he's built a massive business. And not all of it, but a good portion of his initial success can be attributed a lot of what I taught him with writing sales letters and writing copy. Okay. Derek Crine says this, I've applied several of Jason's techniques, and he got a sales letter that was converting at 1.48% to conversions that were 12%. Craig Paulson, he says, I think I've purchased just about all of Jason's products. Okay, using my techniques for the sales letters, he says, I took an overly complicated and lengthy sales letter pitch I had written using another guidebook, and he used a shorter one with my techniques, my formula, quadrupled his conversions. Okay? David Chambliss, he goes, most of the pieces that I've done lately have been written in one sitting. The shortcuts drastically reduced my time to write effective sales copy. And if you don't know who David is, David has catapulted into the stratosphere with the success that he's been experiencing with his online business. And hey, I bet the sales copy is a big part of that. So every time we do this class is a smash success, which is why I can make the following a guarantee. Here it is. For any reason or no reason at all, within 30 days of the first session, if you want your money back, you can have it, so you risk nothing, and you gain everything when you say yes today. So how much is the investment? Now, I'm giving you $1 million education because these techniques have made for me more than $1 million for everything that I've sold, and they've made millions for the clients that I've worked with and taught this to. So a $2,000 investment on your part would be a fantastic deal. But it's not $2,000. It's just $997. And that's an unbelievable deal considering we haven't even discussed the bonuses yet. Actually, $997 is what the public pays. If you go through the special link that I'm about to present to you shortly, and you get in time, then you can get it for $497. That's a $500 saving. So the special link, while it's still available to you, which I'm going to reveal in a little bit, is a one-time payment of $497, which is just unbelievable, a fantastic bargain, and I'm going to make it even look better by throwing in some wonderful bonuses that you qualify for if you sign up ASAP. So here they are. The first bonus, price stacking. So in this day and age, with every single competitive market trending downwards in price of what they sell their information products for and their stuff, we sell at higher prices than most people do. And how do we do this? We do this with price stacking. So I wrote a little, it's only a 14-page guide, but it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in the right hands. Bonus number 2, the JFlag graphics package. This is a package our own team designers had designed, or stuff that we've licensed that costs us several $1,000s that I use. So add to cart buttons, guarantees, arrows, fonts, product images, etc. You can see some of these pop on your page right now. Bonus number 3, impossible copy. Somebody comes to me and says, "Hey Jason, can you take a look at my sales letter?" And I reply back, I said, "Yes. It's completely rubbish. You got to fix all this stuff." And they go, "Well, can you help us before launch?" I said, "Well, when's your launch?" They said 90 minutes from now. So I said, "Okay, let me finish this up," because I was in the middle of something. And so with 75 minutes to spare, I get on a Skype call with these guys. And I know nothing of this product. So within 75 minutes, not only did I familiarize myself with the product, I wrote the copy for it, got it ready while it launched, and that copy converted at nearly 20%. So what did I do in those 75 minutes, knowing nothing about this product? Well, that's case study. Never been released before, never talked about before. I'm finally revealing it to you for the first time inside of the Copy eClass members area. Bonus number 4, this is called Copy for Hire. This is a little training program that I've put together for you, because I've written for some of the biggest names in the industry, and you've probably read copy from me and not even realized it before. I've made as much as $5,000 for less than an hour of work, and I'm going to show you exactly how I got clients, how you can get them to pay you more than what they pay most copywriters, and get better quality of clients. And so if you don't have any products and you want to make money as quickly as possible, this is the best guide for you, because you can land clients that are high-paying clients and you can land them relatively quickly. So to review with you, Price Stacking Bible, JFlag Graphics, Impossible Copy Case Study, Copy for Hire. Not only do you get all the bonus, but you also get this mystery bonus that I didn't even discuss today that's going to be thrown in and available to you in the Copy eClass members area. Just so you know, this offer is not available to the public. The public pays $997, not $497. So you got to sign up right now. And this is what you can expect over the next 6 sessions. The first session that you're going to get, that we're going to do live, is research and offer. So remember earlier when I told you about the master list of 18 formats for positioning an offer? I'm just going to walk you right through that list in the first session. In addition to that, you're going to discover exactly how I do my research in less than 20 minutes to find all those hot buttons that we talked about, the fears, the mind movie of the ideal solution, the benefits, etc. I'm going to show you a 3-step, 3-minute bargain positioning technique. And finally, I'm going to reveal to you a guarantee we've tested 6 ways till Sunday that pretty much can be used word for word regardless of what you're selling, that just flat out works. This is just the first session. This is session number 1. This will be a fantastic, mind-blowing session for you in the Copy eClass. The second session, proof and scarcity. So earlier we discussed the clarity technique, all right? And this is how you position your stuff, so you reveal one little piece of information that makes everything you say on the page pretty much believable, to the point where somebody would be willing to take a buying leap. I'm going to break through exactly how you use that. Plus, I'm going to reveal to you the master list, the 6 different types of scarcities and when and how to use each. And finally, I'm going to show you the triple scarcity fusion technique. This is one of the biggest secrets that I have in my copy for instantly spiking conversion rates. And if you use this technique, you can literally go out to people and be like, I can improve your conversions, yours, and yours. If I did so, how much would it be worth to you? And you could get paid clients easy peasy with technique. That's session 2. And by the way, I show real world examples of copy that I've personally used and written for each one of these techniques. So this isn't theory, it's all absolutely proven with real world examples to show you to back up everything that I'm going to teach you. All right? Session number 3, bullet points. Bullet points are one of the most important parts of selling in print, video, wherever. Okay? I have this little training that I do. We get on the call, so if you're on there live, great. If not, you can just watch and follow along with the recording. And basically I say, all right, here's a section. How would you write a bullet point for it? And while people are writing a bullet point for them, I give them like some general guidance, and then I said, this is how I would write it. And then I write it off the top of my head. And then we compare. Okay? The first time, you'll see a massive difference. We do it once, twice, 3, 4th. By about the 4th or 5th time, people are writing some of the best bullet points you've ever seen in the Copy eClass. And so I can teach you how to become a master at this very fast. And I'll show you exactly how to find the stuff to write the bullet points for the copy that you're creating either for yourself or for your clients. Plus, I'm going to reveal to you the modular adaptation technique, which shows you how you can pretty much transplant bullet points into email subject lines, forum posts, and all kinds of other stuff. You're going to find that incredibly useful. Session 4, hook, headline, lead. The headline is typically the last thing you write for your copy. The headline and the lead are. And so what you have done is all these other things that we talked about before, sharpening that axe. So it's time to chop down that tree. Before we come up with a headline, we come up with a hook. So there's a master list I have of 5 different hooks that fit 99.9% of all offers. You basically could either pick one at random or set a time limit for 1 minute and pick the one that seems to make the most sense. And you use that hook, and that will easily massage out your headline. All right? Then you use a technique, I call this, that, and the third, to create your lead paragraph. And we're going to do so in such a way that people are going to be glued and want to read every single thing or follow along or listen or watch with the rest of your script for the most part, right? You're going to get as much of them as possible. That's session 4. So session 4, I show you exactly how to find the hook from the other stuff that you've done, transform that into a headline, and then create a lead from that that'll dramatically increase the attentiveness at which people want to listen, follow along, and consume your message. That's session 4. Session 5, video sales copy. So this is specifically a session on exactly the nuances and the perfect application of selling via video or extension of that webinar, right? I'm going to show you all that stuff, the ins and outs, plus I'm going to reveal an interesting split test we performed with video that tripled our conversions on a $297 product. That's a lot of money to get a triple conversions on. In addition to that, I'll show you how to do video sales letters where you can one-take every single video sales letter that you want to create. Meaning that when you hit record, you start, and when you hit stop on the record, you have the end product. Session number 6, advanced secrets. So I can't show you this stuff before you go through the 5 sessions, but then once you do, this is going to be incredibly useful, and you'll come back to it over and over again in the members area and continually reference it. This is where I break down stuff such as NLP copywriting. That's neuro-linguistic programming copywriting. It's an interesting technique. Okay. In addition to that, I'm going to show you, and this is normally something I don't show people, but it's very important to you. I'm going to show you the 7 weaknesses of the human psyche. Okay. And I'll also show you how expert in persuasions exploit them. This is very important for you to know because A, it will make you immune to being psychologically exploited and taken advantage of, and I don't know how much that's worth to you, but that'll save you a lot of money in your life, okay? And B, I'm going to show you how you can use these human psyche exploits to better resonate and connect with your own customers so you can help them in a very ethical manner, so it'll be beneficial for you. In addition to that, I'm going to show you design secrets on layouts for copy and things of that nature. They can make the difference between a great in a fantastic runaway winning sells copy or sells video presentation or whatever. Finally, I can't say much more about it than the Pandora's box. This is something I don't want anybody sharing outside of the Copy eClass because I'm about the only one that uses it now, and if everybody knew about it, it would lose a lot of its effectiveness. So we'll just keep that between us. But I'm going to talk about the Pandora's box in session 6. Just so you know, when you go to that URL right now and sign up, all sessions are recorded, okay? All sessions are recorded. They're also archived, so for future reference, you can always go back to them. They're transcribed, so you can read the transcriptions as well, and they're available to you forever in the members area. Finally, when you graduate, after your 6 sessions are over, you will get a diploma, which you can put on any website or page that says, hey, I'm a world-class copywriter. I've been certified by Jason Fladlien. Finally, let me conclude by telling you a couple things. First of all, copywriters are always in demand and will always be in demand. So this is a good skill to learn because there's always a fallback. If you need to make money, there's always a long line of people who'd happily pay you to do this skill for them. Okay? Even if you never want to write for anybody else or do any copy stuff for anybody else, you still need to use this skill because it's going to be useful for everything that you do online to sell your own stuff or affiliate stuff. All you risk today when signing up is a couple hours of your time to give me a fair shot, to try this out and see if it makes sense and is right for you. That's all I'm asking for you. So here's your 2 choices as we wind this down. Your first choice is not to go to that URL and not sign up. And you can continue to do what you've always done. I got one question for you. How's that working? Probably not very good. So you can do that and expect to get about the same results as you've always gotten, which for most people is not acceptable. Or the second choice you can do is try something new. All right? Try something new. And I'm presenting to you something new that you haven't been exposed to before. I guarantee it. I think you're going to like it. I don't know for sure. All I'm asking for is a fair shot. Just try it out. You know how to contact us if it's not right for you, because if you go to that URL or any URL we own, you'll have our support link one click away. Now consider this. Every second you delay signing up and not jumping at this immediately is another second farther behind you fall about mastering this vital skill that's required. So every day you delay is another day that you fall farther and farther behind when it comes to mastering this. So it kills you 2 different ways. There's no excuse. You got to sign up right now. Go to that URL. Sign up. Go there right away while all the bonuses are still available. So go there, get in. I look forward to working with you and getting to know you more over these next coming weeks. And I wish you the best of success. Thanks for being a part of this training today, and I will speak again with you shortly.